Okay, hey guys, we're moving on. We got our hour, and now we're part 2 of Think and Grow Rich, and we're going through some more of our, what are they called? You can do it if you believe you can. Just remember that. Daily environments. Oh yeah, we're in our 3,000 mottos. That's where we're at. Okay. A closed mind stumbles over the blessings of life without discovering them. So you miss what you don't get and discover your curiosity about. And a lot of that times it is missing the intuition, your sixth sense. You're not seeing, hearing, you're in your head. Because a lot of these things that become successful, somebody else turned them down because they were self-centered, you know what. So a lot of people live from the space of what other people think, and the people that step outside the box are the ones of the Napoleon Hill, the ones that really make the difference in the world, that means something. Because just because you created a corporate company doesn't mean you really made a difference for someone. Some of these companies are horrific places to work, which means that they're a detriment to society. Consider that. Now, which wolf are you going to feed when it comes to your expansion and success? And what's success? Success is, can you condition your mind into positive mental attitude? Can you take control over your own mind? Meaning a lot of people are going to come at you and try to convince you something about your art. That means you're going to stand solid in what you believe in, what your art is. It's a battleground. It's a battleground. I know, I totally see what you're saying. This is how you operate when someone sees, like, especially like a pretentious person. Well, like, these are the questions you ask them. Well, what did you see in the art? And then you wait to hear what they have to say. And then you always just be agreeable. Oh, I totally get that. Thank you so much for your feedback. I appreciate it. Positive mental attitude. And they're like literally hammering you. Thank you so much for paying attention. That's so amazing. And then they walk off of as if they won. However, now you have new art to create that then becomes your jump off. And then they look at it later and they actually might realize that that conversation was the piece of art that you created. Because what the negative mental attitude is going to do is try to steal every ounce of potential of your vibration of success and replace it with complete doubt. And that's how they win in their lives. That's how their success becomes success. But let's be real here. That's not what success is. We know that, right? It's only a matter of time before that gets exposed and they end up with back pain, knee pain, extradited out of the country, which is going to happen. So just be patient. We're moving on to a negative mental attitude repels success. Need I say more? Remember, we're revisiting that success is the 17 laws of success, including things like positive mental attitude, creating positive habits, transmuting our mind from negative to positive, which is the practice. Now, if you have negative mental attitudes where you give off doubt to other people as a gift, then we also know that that will never get them success in life. They were born into money, let's get real. And then the ones that are on their side are looking for their money ticket. And they're also not successful, nor do they have anything to teach. Which makes you successful in itself. Like, to me, I'm successful. Cooperation and friendship can all begin by giving to them first, which is exactly what I'm up to. How can I help you? I've done this for the last 15 years. I'd say 20 years of my life. I gave my whole life. It's not an overnight experience. However, I can look at myself in the mirror, have integrity, and I've created a comfortable lifestyle in my own self. I've never sold out. I have integrity. I have morality, and that's a successful life. Politeness begins at home, or it doesn't begin at all. Politeness is being able to get along comfortably in your home life. Meaning with my mom, I can be myself, whether it be I'm in a bad mood or in a good mood. We can argue, and then we can flip the switch as if it never happened, but there's no energy intent attached to it. That's important because it's also a way to diminish any negative, because what'll happen is she'll go out into Walmart and she'll take on energy. She'll come and bring it to the house. Her and I'll have an argument, which dissipates the energy that she's taken on. And then she'll go to her room, have some private time. Or I'll go for a walk and then we'll come back together. Hey mom, what do you want to do for dinner? Like it never happened. So if you're constantly polite, it's a suppression tactic, right? And each individual relationship will look a little different. Because some people will want to have a conversation and some people will want to just blow up and then let it go. No, it's a learning phase when you create a relationship with someone. But by being able to be yourself at home with no awkwardness, you can take that out into the world. More than your people. Wait, if you put more work than your people, you put your people on a limb. I mean, that's weakening the system if you do more than your people. Meaning you're not a very good delegator and you're not a very good leader. It's the worry mind circumstances. When you do less, you put them on a limb. In that sense, that means you always want to assist them as necessary. So that means teamwork. That means communication. That means emotional intelligence. Learning to figure things out on your own, which is what? Taking initiative. Knowing the implications of you always being needy and how it slows the processes down of success for the whole company if you're constantly tattling versus dealing with the concern yourself when it's something like, they stole my pencil sharpener. Transmutation of being sorrowful to joyful. It's a progress of work. When failure overtakes you, start thinking it was a success. I think we're getting these things simple, right? Looking at the failure as your opportunity, which is challenging in itself, because right now you see a failure, it's a small one, or it may even be a big one, but you learned your lesson on it. However, your next breakthrough is your next breakdown. That's the growth phase. So right now it's easy, you can see it, you can see your way through the problem. However, tomorrow you might have something that's catastrophic in your eyes. This is the practice of the work, which is going back to your positive mental attitude and knowing, it's like sometimes when you have a breakdown, it's also called a breakdown or a failure. You also want to know that distracted, which is how it happens. You get too trusting too, because you're still evolving these people. You're still evolving people. People are evolving. Transmuting sorry to joy. Breakthrough, breakdown. There's something I want to say about that, but the thought got taken. It's important too. Your next breakthrough is your next breakdown. The ceiling becomes the floor. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Imaginary of event. Imagine events in your own mind. Success. Imagery. Imagine yourself being successful and what your eyes occur as successful. What would it look like to be successful in a situation in the past where you would have should have said something different? Because it's going to happen again. So imagine the future, but not too intensely, okay? It's just like it's a practice. It's a manifestation of success and your positive mental attitude. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, she's gonna fall on the floor, she's gonna cry, blah, blah, blah. But we're gonna be positive mental attitudes. See the seed of equivalent benefit. Time elapse. They begin to see the seed. Yeah, okay, always go to the seed. That's what I was gonna say. You'll forget about the seed. You'll forget about the seed of equivalent benefit when you're in a breakdown. That's what I was kind of trying to tell you. Because like it's so intense, it can be really intense, right? And then you're like, panic. What do I do? And then you totally forget the whole process of all of this stuff. And then you're in a breakdown. What you can perceive, you will achieve. Boom. Where do I need to look? In my notebook. Maybe I need to pull out the 12 and a half ingredients, emotional ingredients. What's missing? What in my mind is the social mind control? How am I not controlling my mind? Because everything's empty and meaningless. Let me take a look at what's so. You separate the emotion. I can see the emotion. I can see the what's so, but I'm also seeing a solution. The seed of equivalent benefit. What's the lesson? You found the lesson. Now you got the solution. And that's kind of the formula. Creator never allows anything to be taken away without return of something of equal or greater value. The Creator, that's soft soap. I'll tell you about soft soap later. Okay, Creator never allows anything to be taken away without return of something or equivalent or greater in value, potentially, because you have to do work. It's the lesson. Like for people who are homeless on the street, they haven't fulfilled the lesson. They have not fulfilled their own destiny, their own lesson. However, there is a waiting period to assist them. This is where you would go if you were homeless. Where do I need to look to see where I can get myself together again? Because a lot of those people are so disempowered. I'm talking about the sane ones, and not schizophrenic, because some of those people are sane. They just talk to the spirits. Okay? It's like, I need a little help. If I could get the help, this is how the world is operating this time. If I could get the help that I needed, I could get myself back together. However, when you're in such a space of like, you don't even have an address, you cannot get a job. You don't have clothes, you can't get a job. The wages are inconceivable compared to what the billionaires are making. It's like a little bit messed up. The system's messed up, let's just put it that way. So that is society's lesson. So Napoleon says, if we could get rid of poverty, peace would occur. In so many words, but we'll get to that one a little bit later. When poverty has poverty sneaks up, you see it as riches. Oh, when power has poverty, it sneaks up, you see it as riches. Does that make sense? That's exactly what I just said. Disempowerment of the poor people. You look at people who are rich and you think that's riches. But you're actually poor and you're reading the Bible on the street, bravely sitting there, that you're actually richer than the richest of the rich. I would have rather sat and talked to you for an hour than some of these people. And there's a fear factor attached to a homeless person, although they're just like other people. However, they're also in a survival mode too. So there's a little bit of animalistic activity as an energy. Because I don't blame you. You need to eat and you need shelter. And in the old days, into the future, if we don't get this under control, then it will be a socialist country and we're all getting kicked out of our homes. And the millennials are going to move in and they will not share financially with us. However, reminding you the millennial generation is a very small group of individuals and they're very powerless. They have no education. They only have manipulation. And if you start engaging in these Napoleon Hill 17 laws of success, we will win. You will have success. The vibration will increase for all because they actually operate on a low vibration. However, it occurs as a high vibration. My vibration is so high, it's hard for them to be around me. It makes them super uncomfortable because my light exposes their dark to the point where they physically attack. And that's the truth. So that's what you also need to remember when you go to these fancy parties. They're going to be looking at you in attack mode to disempower you, to bring down the energy to their level. Also an energy vampire. Because they're all looking to look a certain way. And if you occur as weak, they will go at you like rabid dogs. So that's a lot what like an abuse person will do, is they like to overpower people. And so they end up meeting a person that is in a disempowered state, and then they feed off the disempowered state to enjoy the fuel of abuse. They enjoy that. So it's like a push. I don't think so. Really? Well, isn't that interesting? Never inviting them into your space. What it would look like to invite someone into your space is laughing at their jokes when they're not funny. Because they're not funny. That's the thing. They'll laugh. You'll feel the desire to laugh, but you fight back and you don't laugh. You get that? That's interesting. Pushing them away. Engaging in like snuggling. That's that. It's like inside you're like this. Right? It's like more than protection though. I'm trying to think. You might know what to do on this one. I'm not very good at this one. It's like almost in your mind, you're like thinking to yourself, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I can't wait to kill you tonight. Oh, that's so sweet. When fear overtakes you, it is the faith in opposite. Oh, in opposition. So if you're feeling fearful, it's the opposition of faith. You don't have faith. So if you're feeling scared, then you need to add faith. And you want to transmute your emotions. Express yourself in terms of joy, sing, and say thank you. You can even do that in these parties. La 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 la, like walking through the crowd. La 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 la. They'll hate it. La la. She's so weird. Yeah. Thank you. Pushing him out. Thanks for talking to me. I really appreciate it. It's your tone and your voice. Thanks. That's a great one. Thanks. We're dealing with negative personal mental attitude. But you want to be genuine with the good ones. And currently at this time, I'm really operating in battle mode. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you meeting with me. Like, because if you were in a positive space and you were like, la, 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 I love that. I love it. I used to work with a girl at the center, and she would be over at the desk, lollying it, la, 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 la. I loved it. That's how you knew that that was a positive exchange. Because it actually brings joy to other people, whether you can sing or not. Act out positive parts as they become real. Act out positive parts as they become real. It almost feels like a turning yourself inside out. It's like we're in such a disempowering, like I'll probably end up revisiting these topics again, and it'll occur as a new way of being for us in the evolvement of the work. So currently what's coming up for me is acting out positive parts as they become real. So it really has to do with authenticity, but knowing that the positive mental attitude is at the forefront. I'll just leave it at that. Only matter what you think that counts. Your head about your own stuff is the only thing that matters. I am attractive. I really like myself. I'm super funny and I'm awesome. I've never had, actually it's funny because I've never had any opinion. I always thought everybody liked me. I mean, I literally felt like everybody liked me, no matter who I came into contact with. I always made friends, even if they were like annoying. And then the ones that I didn't like, I never hung out with, so I would steer them away. Everybody always liked me. That was always my mentality. Everybody always liked me. Everybody always liked my group that I would hang out with. I always had that mental attitude. That's how I've just always been. Everybody always liked my mom. Everybody always liked my dad. Everybody always liked my sisters. And I lived by that. It's just like a way of being. Because it's so obvious that we're so awesome. How could you not? There's 10 invisible guides. There's like I have everything if I need more. I reach out and grab. That's joy and happiness. I need more joy. I need more happiness. I need more happiness. I'm just gonna take it. Comes from here. Comes from God. Ooh, I like that one, God. God's coming through. You want to mirror work. Enthusiastically say in the mirror, I love myself. It will happen. Even if you don't believe it, start practicing it. If you accept failure, you will get that. Means never accept failure. Who is the greatest person living at this time? God. The answer is you. God is making me giggly. I love him so much. You are great. You're great. I love you. Because you can be whoever you want to be. That's so true, especially as we live in the USA. We're blessed to be able to do more than a lot of different countries. However, at this time, it is a little rocky. Because just remember, this was done in the 1930s, and they were going through World War II. But we are blessed in the sense that we're not in the borders of Ukraine and Russia dealing with the catastrophic events of a facade of a war. Because we don't really actually know what's going on over there. You want to create an army of imagination. Omens. Something about omens. Clear all the fears and doubts and worry. Utilize your inspired guidance. There's a guide to love, a guide for the mind, a guide for romance, a guide for persistence, love, wisdom. Convert that effects in your life. Keeps your body young and your mind young. And he called God Normal. That's his personal guide. I called God Soft Soap. I called God Soft Soap because we were going through COVID, and it's when I met him. Well, I mean, I know him for not a long time or whatever, but I felt like soft. I was needing some softness and cleansing. And so soft soap was on the counter in the bathroom. So I spent like 2 or 3 weeks calling God Soft Soap. So every time I would see soft soap, I would know that God was here. And so he was, and it was awesome. And so every time I see soft soap, I think of you, God. We're talking. Okay, so there's abundance available for all. You always want to say thank you for your service to your guides. So every morning and every night, even if it's just a thank you. Sometimes I forget, but you can show them in being happy. It doesn't have to be formal, although it is a good positive practice of habit. Motivation, action, faith, personal, mental attitude. New ideas bring new ideas. That's the path. Sum total of your habits, purpose or created, up where you neglect to form your own. Sum total of your habits, purpose or creeped up where you neglect to form your own. Oh yeah. So if you like, purposeful habits for me is working out. I can do purposeful habits like working out now as in malleable with it. Meaning I don't have to plan my day of when I go work out. At this time I don't, because my schedule is open. However, in the future, it will be necessary to say I'm going to be working out between 7 and 8 or 4 and 5 because of the scheduling. On the other side of that, I also can do things a little differently. So it's like I can take a look at the week and know that I want to work out 4 days this week. I've got a meeting on Mondays, Wednesday, and Friday and Saturday, which means 4 days I need to fit in my workout on this, and this day, and I need to take a day off, so I'm gonna not do it on Sunday. So I gotta find the time on this time, this day, and I try to hold true to the commitment of working out. Some people need a little bit more structure around their workout. However, in my case, I don't really need, because I just love working out. Like even right now, I told myself this morning I wasn't going to work out. But the spin bike's talking to me. The spin bike, Travis Barker and the spin bike are talking to me. Because I like to spin to listen to Blink 182. And I like to pretend to drum. So you see how fun I make it? And then I like to punch and box, right? Don't forget to be doing your 10 minutes of reading every day now. It could be watching a video too, meaning a old Napoleon Hill video, because there's so much information on YouTube. You don't have to watch the whole 60 minutes. You just watch the 10 minutes. Maybe you want to read some of your work, your speech for your thing out loud for an hour. Maybe you multitask, you walk and sing, which I do that. I go walking in the neighborhood and I sing out loud. Maybe you get on your spin bike and you're at home and you're reading your speech out loud. See how you can be malleable and creative to keep it interesting? And it doesn't really take a lot. It takes the will and the action and the commitment. And how committed are you to your word? The ones that you don't form on your own are lazy ones. Okay, like let's go drinking. Again, personal mental attitudes don't drink often because you know alcohol is a depressant. However, when I get a little buzz on, I get really funny and goofy. So you'd see the difference between that. It's like there's the side swipe to the goofy. Hi. And then there's the psycho who turns into a sharp knife. That's a different version of the negative mental attitude versus the positive mental attitude. Most people who are on the negative personal attitude like to get blacked out drunk, and they like to verbally abuse people, and they're constantly drinking. It really happens a lot with women, and then they joke about wine, and it becomes a life battle for you. The negative personal attitude, it starts at birth. So they both do. Those are the two envelopes you come here with: the penalties and the blessings. Take possession of your own mind from the very start. The most significant, the right to use your thinking positively or negatively. The awareness game of how you're always thinking negative. You may even speak your words positive, but it's a way of being in positivity that you want to experience into expression. And then when negativity comes around, you start taking a look within yourself, the voices. I say voices as in the envelope. Then you want to take a look at external sources, learning to battle them, keeping your personal space personal, and then you transmute, protect, and there's a lot of different pieces that go into play, but it all boils down to being ways of being. I'm getting distracted. I don't know. It's just like I'm feeling like giving up. So that would be a negative mental attitude creeping in psychically. However, I'm going to push through it because I want to. I choose to. I choose a positive outlook. The most significant, the right to use your thinking positively and negatively. Negative self, fears, doubts came from the other side. Negative influences are worries over money. These are really good. This is how you're going to battle the demons. Worries over money, unregulated love, body image, internet, meaning machines, unsound health, real versus fake, Intolerance, closed-minded, greed for more than you need, and when you are already wealthy. Most proud, most paid too much for the money they got. Too little, too much. I said well balanced, but it's out of context. Ignorance and unlimited potentials. Lack of purpose. 2 out of 100 people know their definite purpose, and that's being generous. Letting others, and most of us let others think for us, which is the machine, which is how the CIA was able to create itself, which is why you go to your mastermind group, because you want other people to have a definite purpose. Abundance is available. We live in a scarcity mindset at this time. However, there's plenty of money to go around. If we've got billionaires out there, then we know inflation is caused by them. When we're still making $12 per hour, working at a corporation that makes billions of dollars. It's a fact. Which then leaves the poor people who want to build businesses unable to pay their employees and build businesses. Which means the only thing we have going for us now is corporate America, social media influencers, the inability to break into the market unless you just so happen to network with the right people. And that is where we're headed at this time. Student of personal achievement, create better sets of habits, create daily habits. A personal mental attitude will do the same by eliminating poverty altogether. A personal mental attitude will do the same by eliminating poverty altogether. And that's the ultimate goal. However, that is not the ultimate goal. That is not their goal. They spend millions of dollars on bullcrap. When we are worldwide, how far we've come in society, we could create so much in success for each and every individual. However, we are too busy looking at scarcity, creating mind manipulations, and worshiping celebrity and social media influencer females, while the men cower in fear. And I'm sick and tired of watching it. The potential to grow into space is upon us at this time, and are you going to do the work? As soon as the seed of equivalent benefit forms, you find the benefit most place important and significant, or money, riches of life. As soon as the seed of equivalent forms, you find the benefit most important and significance of money, and the riches are life. And then here's the 12 riches of love: personal mental attitude, sound physical health, harmony in relationships, freed from fear, hope of future achievement, capacity for applied faith, sharing your blessings, engaged in the labor of love, open mind on subjects of all people, completing self-discipline, wisdom to which to understand people, financial security. And obscene money is the last on the list, as you notice. Money is a curse. It actually brings more problems than it does joy. With expectations, with vultures chasing you, with not knowing who actually cares for you, stuff like that. Greed, 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 greed. Ooh, Lordy. Now, some people are out to create for others, but we also need to know that there's really greedy people out there who need to be overpowered, Meaning the fact that Elon Musk is a billionaire is an important thing because we need him to be in the lead because we want people who are up to good things to have the most money in the world. So you cannot give your money away. Because if Elon was to give his money away, then the person that's evil would take the lead and then we would all be destroyed. So you also have to take a look at it like that. And we're also looking at a societal evolution of development of where we've come from the past in 1930 to where we are now with an inflation gain of horrific numbers, paying 99 cents in gas when and I'm born in 1979, 99-cent gas to what, $7 in California? Is that right? Is that normal? Because of costs of living? Whereas here in Brunswick, we're paying $4 a gallon? All made up excuses of how it's being shipped in certain ways. Because I'm going to let you know that everything is made up. And having a positive mental attitude consists of also speaking truths. Because if you just run around and not take forceful action against the negative mental attitude, we're all in big trouble. So you have to manipulate in the balancing of how to get us all on the right track. Because currently what's been happening in the last so many years is the negative mental attitude has been succeeding. But when I said that, did you have a negative mental attitude? Or did you say, oh, wait, I have a positive mental attitude, so from here forward, I'm going to do my best to be in a positive mental attitude? Because when you become disempowered in a sentence that isn't even a disempowering sentence, they will come at you like they just did. So a lot of economical concerns and issues going on in the world at this time. A lot of poverty is what's holding people back from having a positive mental attitude. However, you have to have that success mind to create success. So it's the law of attraction. It's your way of being. It's having an optimism outlook on life. It's having the desire and capacity to do learning and controlling your own mind. Because even if you have no money, you need shelter, you need food, you need water, and you could probably manage your life in the wilderness doing that. We just live in such a luxurious place at this time that it just occurs as if we're so disempowered, when the real truth is that success is controlling your own mind. That is like true success, because that is a hard thing to do when you've got the media, collective consciousness, celebrities all telling you you ain't nothing. And that goes for the middle class making six figures. It's bizarre. People talking as if $1 million isn't even a lot of money anymore. It's a lot of money. Making $40,000 a year is a lot of money. $20,000 a year is a lot of money. Do you have $20,000? Going street to street conversations with 20-something years old, telling you that they have $60,000 in their bank account? Excuse me, but how did that happen? When I was 20 years old, I had $600 in my account. Meaning these kids have been handed everything to them. This is war. Not only are they in a financial warfare with us. It's a psychological warfare of attempting to clean house. But guess who needs to be cleaned? It ain't us. Anybody over 40, it ain't us. It ain't the ones under 18, however, some in there. There's some, of course, little splots of them in there, but they're all terrified because of this mass community of social media influencers that think that telling us to go buy toilet paper, that's what they're creating as a new positive mental attitude, and that's just the lie. So I invite you to start thinking and creating your own reality, to see the truth of what's actually going on here, from the facade of the music, to the tone of the voice, to the education that they're showing you, to the clothing that they're wearing, and start battling the energy, creating your own mind. That means when the negative mind starts, you go ahead and you say, that's not true. I am beautiful, and you ain't teaching me nothing. Me looking at a rack of clothing while you're getting ready for another event at 11 o'clock in the morning tells me you do nothing. It would literally take me 30 minutes to get ready for an event. To look the exact same you look when you do a coffee run. That's how pathetic these people are. Meanwhile, there's poor people on the street that needs assistance with education in health and wellness, or even if you're a so-called pharmacist, then you would be out educating people about pharmacy and how the side effects create horrible tingling of the fingers called neuropathy, which is a side effect when you continuously use drugs over long term. However, the side effects are this long and you always miss that one. And just so you know, for those of you who are interested in cold baths, you can take a shower in a cold water and it's the same as taking a bath. However, standing outside in a cold environment is not the same as taking a cold bath. That's the lie. That's made up. You need to take a cold bath. You need to take a cold shower, especially if you're going through cancer or any illness, and that's going to help you heal. You need to turn down the spigots on your spigots to cooler showers. Everybody's taking too hot of showers. So that means you're feeding into the negative mental attitude, by the way. Oh, but I love hot showers. No, that's the negative mental attitude. You're burning yourselves up. Guilty myself, by the way. However, when I was going through the death phase, which was every single day, I would be forced by God to take cold showers to get my heart started again. What do you think a cold water does? Wakes you up. Think about what cold, is it constricting? There's a scientific person out there that's going to take a look at this. I know a guy who can do it for a really long time, but I forget what his name is. There's like a YouTube video or a video who really knows what cold therapy is. See, I don't know a whole lot about cold therapy, but at least I'm willing to tell you I don't know a whole lot about cold therapy, except for that I took cold showers that I freaking hated. Not that I'm super proud that I did it for 7 minutes because it's all about me. No, it's because I'm educating you on how to stay alive. So if you're going through some illness, you want to start doing your own research on cold therapy and not watching a YouTube video from a trash heap who's a self-proclaimed physician who never went to medical school and gave the teachers a hard time as they failed her out of class, and then her mommy and paid for her to finish. Oh, excuse me, maybe her Taliban father. And notice how I'm speaking negative about someone who's a demon. However, I'm still having a positive mental attitude. I'm very positive in who I am. And these are factual, evidential pieces of information. You want to consider the source. I'm showing you how they operate to tell you how they're attempting to make you feel less than and show you that they are winning when they're completely losing. That's the funny part. When you are creating a content video, it's not your successes that you boast about, which is the opposite of humility, which is exactly what she shows you, the opposite of humility. You're showing your example of how you were struggling. This is what I would say. I'm struggling to do 7 minutes. The goal is 10. So you want to give information. It's 10 minutes long is what you're supposed to do. It's a challenging experience. I've only made it to 1 minute in a shower. And that's where I'm at. And that actually gets people competitive. That gets people competitive. In a fun kind of way, right? Because if you're healing, if you're trying to heal, you're obviously only competing with yourself, but in a fitness space, you actually can push someone else to lift a little heavier, which then will allow them to feel stronger. That's how it works. Anyway, positive mental attitude. Then you want to say, thank you for the wisdom to which to understand people, because I really do understand people in a vision, and most people operate on very similar levels in multidimensional spaces. It's like this way and this way, and like this is the flat version, and then it'd be like this way, this way. Anything else? Ways of being? Something about Baron Baptiste keeps coming up. You should definitely be watching. If you're not familiar with Baptiste yoga, you should be watching one and you should be practicing. He probably wants me to practice. I'm like, I don't feel like it. That's like this is the battle. This is the negative versus positive. Okay, I have a few more minutes and I will talk about this. The way that the society wants everyone to do now is to not work out, not practice yoga, not go to the gym, not spin the bike, nothing. When you are not strong in your physical body, they are able to bring you into a negative mental attitude. So I keep talking to you about this, and I'm going to keep talking to you about this. It's that moment and feeling of I don't want to is your bad wolf. It's the external forces that are teaching you bad habits, that want you to fall on your face, that do not want you to succeed. That is the battle. That is where you have to transmute the energy into the positive mental attitude and find joy in your fitness routine. The old ways of joy was a fitness class. However, right now it's a little iffy because of the women that are in there are kind of toxic. Then it was a gym. However, that's also toxic because those little millennials show up in there with their cameras thinking they're all cute with their fat butts and their cottage cheese at 25, trying to look like the Kardashians. How disgusting, right? That's not clear thinking. Wanting to be like them is not clear thinking. Wanting to be like the best version of you, that is clear thinking. Well, let's see. Let me look at myself in the mirror. This is what you want to do. Let me look at myself in the mirror and see what areas that I don't particularly like. Not that I dislike them, I just want to improve them. I want to improve my toes, my ears, and maybe my elbows. And then that's what you would go to work on. So when I'm in yoga, I'm gonna lift my toes up. And then when I'm in yoga, I'm gonna bend my elbows just a little bit. And then what, my ears? Oh, when I'm on my mat, then I'm gonna listen better. And that's how I'm gonna improve myself. Because I already like the rest of me. And if you have anything about yourself that you don't like physically, it's your diet. 99% of it's your diet. And then if it's saggy skin, it's soda. If your gums are bleeding, it's soda. If it's cottage cheese, you're eating too many chips and dips, it's fat. And what else? What's the other thing? All right, I think that's gonna be all for now. I feel like I'm just babbling. It takes self-discipline. This has got to be a whole nother episode, so I'm not going to go into any more of the fitness, but I did give you an idea of scheduling, creating an attachment to your fitness routine as in it's a work job for you. Not only do you get rewarded by physical youth, looking youthful, but you also get an experience of strength. Not to mention you get some me time, some music time, some friendship time if you have friends you like to work out with, but there's really not a lot of people out there that are operating on a partnership level at this time, so it's really strange. And you feel strong. And you can get all of that in your yoga practice. So for some reason, they don't like weights. I'm telling you right now, God told me no weights. I do like okay, I'm gonna tell you what I do. I walk or run or combo. I do spin, and then I'm doing more yoga than ever. That's not really true, but I am doing a significant amount of yoga, power yoga. And then I'll take my 12-pound weights. I used to lift like 25 pounds. Which is why I have this like a little bit of like looser skin, is because when you build all that muscle and then you stop lifting all those heavy weights, you get floppy muscle and it disintegrates that, right? I just do one set of each up to like 25, depending on how strong I feel. That's it. Weights, this one. But it's a foundational piece of yoga as a practice. Okay, that's it.